Okay everybody, so I am here and today I'm going to be looking at some of the things of interest that are in the Daredevil Season 2 trailer. Now admittedly there is not a whole lot in this, but I think I can kind of piece together some of the details in this and how the chronological order of the things as they go, throughout the series are. So let's get into that. So first off, once we get right into the trailer, we see the castle home. Now I don't think he goes back and visits or anything. I'm actually thinking that this is when he comes back from his tour of duty, of course, overseas, and he sees his family for the first time. I think this is going to be one of the flashbacks that is critical to the show to establish the relationship that Frank has with his wife and family. And speaking of family, as we get into it, we actually see that he has a daughter. So it looks like he is going to be, just parenting one person in this instead of having multiple kids or anything like that. Which honestly, I don't mind. It's obviously his daughter that's going to get caught in the crossfire. So, I want to see how they actually execute that scene because it should be pretty brutal. And speaking of brutal, one of the next scenes we actually see Frank. He's looking at a merry-go-round and he looks really depressed, looking on, just sitting on a bench, kind of looking at everything. I'm gonna assume this is one of the, places he took his daughter frequently, and she loved being on there, and he would see her smile. And ever since she was taken away from him, now he's literally a shadow of the man he once was. He's pretty much lost his mind, and he is a psychopath. If you know the Punisher, you know how much this hurts him. I mean, he snaps at this point. He goes from being a good man with a good heart to being just miserable and depressed and an alcoholic, and this is what he turns to. He has his memories, and he kind of just reflects on it before he goes and does what needs to be done. Now next up we get to look at some of the weaponry used in here. Now we don't know if this is Frank's necessarily. I'm going to guess it is because I think the criminals would have better offense, so I think he's just kind of building his own stuff and murdering them with it. And speaking of murdering, here is the aftermath of one of the Punisher's attack. Now, I have a theory that this is actually going to be right after the opening scene. And I think the opening scene is going to be this scene right here with Frank Castle looking over the facility. We later on see in the trailer, actually we see it early before this shot, and it's the one where all the cops are gathered. So my guess is we see that scene with Frank kind of attacking everybody, then we get introduced to the normal characters, then we're going to get some flashbacks obviously during the thing that leads us to know who Frank is. And then there's a great scene in the trailer where we actually see, Karen talking to Matt, and they're talking about how the Punisher kind of exists, and maybe that it's society that failed, and that's why the Punisher exists, that they kind of failed him as a person. Which, if you guys know the Punisher, this is all pretty true. I mean, he tried to get justice for what happened to his family, and everybody's pretty much bought out. No one cares about anything in New York City. It's gone to hell. People are paid off. People just don't have time. They don't care about what he's saying, so he takes the law into his own hands. And speaking of taking the law into your own hands, we actually see Matt, and he's he looks like he has maybe a new suit or an upgraded suit, because during this we kind of get different looks at some other stuff, him and Punisher fighting, and we actually see that at one point his suit actually has a giant crack going down the middle of the face. And then to end the trailer, we actually get to see Matt go back to his apartment, where we see Elektra is waiting for him on the couch, and we get told that another trailer is coming in a couple weeks. So overall, a pretty damn awesome trailer, definitely doing a heavy focus on Frank Castle, of course, who's going to be very important to this season, the evolution of Matt Murdock as a character. So I really can't wait to see where they go with this. Unfortunately, no Skull is featured here yet, but we'll see as it gets closer, guys. So let me know what you guys thought about the trailer down below. So thank you for watching the video, and if you guys like what you saw, don't forget to like and subscribe, and if you haven't already, check out some of these other great videos we have on the channel. Just click the annotation right there, it'll take you to them. Thank you for watching, guys, and have a good one.